Hello, every meow. I'm actually feeling a lot better today. Because you wanna know why? I finally got rest last night. Yay. Anyways, as soon as the first person's here, I'm gonna start, so... Hopefully you guys are doing okay. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Hi Ash, how are you doing today? So, we're gonna go start. The big sexy is here. Yay, that's nice. That's fun. But not this dreary, dark LA. Chu and I, we just have a fake tree. Oh, there he is. The drama. The noir. The aesthetic. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. I wonder why he didn't take any cases. Like, don't you need money? Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. Oh, big mood, Phoenix. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. The baby. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. Yes, she is the baby. Baby. So you are the coffee boy? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief, then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please, I'm out of time. But please, you have to help. It's my sister. Maya, could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? Well, let's talk to Emma. What's up? Emma, was it? So, you're a scientific investigator? Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy. Or maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? Yeah, she's a baby. She'll always be a baby. I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, and my age no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you could call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Great, another future professional in training. Don't be rude, Feeny. So what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it! She wouldn't stab someone with a knife! She wouldn't! So, it's a murder case. I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it! She didn't do it! I know she didn't do it! It's a scientific fact! And there's a witness. Just talk to her! You have to talk to her! Yeah, I know. She is baby. Yeah. But, you know, kids these days are actually really smart. Thanks to the internet and thanks to accessibility. And hopefully these teachers are teaching them how to think critically more. So, honestly, the children are our future. I'm just an old, tired millennial. Just talk to her! You have to talk to her! Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Faye, but... That's interesting. How would she know Mia? So, you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigation should be done scientifically. Don't you? Yeah. Sure can't fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. Guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. But wait, what's her relation to Mia? My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Faye person was a few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And, well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. I can't believe Emma said trans rights. But then Feeny had to be like this. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister like this. You must be close. Huh? Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. Well... Baby! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Let's go meet big sexy Lana. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quite quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. Guard, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. Sorry, ma'am. It's just sister. No excuses. Or did you not want to race this year, Understood, ma'am. What was all that about? Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing? Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana. Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters. One is a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana, I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Well, guess we gotta talk to Lana. There's something you should know from the start, which is the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? Wait, but the suspect is... Me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? And your subordinate's car trunk? Classy. I was arrested on the spot. Caught red-handed, as it were. Well, that's just great. So, who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Death was due to loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What? Mr. Wright, what does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So, you're the chief prosecutor? That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job, and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible that you wouldn't. Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this? I cut myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, didn't she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia. Hey! It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year, and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Beanie? It is exactly what you think it is. Intellectually attracted, Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. Oh, I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me? As you can clearly see, I am admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you could take a case like this. None. But Lana! Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright? Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed, so after all, the case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Ooh. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here, and I'm gonna find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister, she's not always like that, you know. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? Well, I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe well, maybe not. Sounds like there's something here that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and move to the underground parking lot. So, this is the lot where it all happened? Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey, everybody! Keep up the good work! Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they are going to be my coworkers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know, attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying not to stand out too much here, see? Hey there. Hey there. You expecting to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? Oh, there he is. What do we have here? Looks like the bandina got loose on the ranch and it's up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down there, partner. See, now that, like, I grew up and stuff, Mr. Marshall, sir, right? I always, like, now, like, especially since Overwatch came out, I always imagine his voice having Matthew Mercer's voice, the fucking McCree voice, so... Thank you, Matthew Mercer, for giving me such a gift. Mr. Marshall! Marshal? More like a sheriff to me. Look at here, Bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a mother load of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Was that, hombre a friend of yours? Kind of, sort of. Yeah, he's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. He's probably from Arizona. Let's see. Aha! A ladder! That's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please? Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Let's see. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer. Well, wait! What are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. How is that scientific? Sounds like theft to me. Well, I guess we're Steven. I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? By the way, her eyes are sparkly. I could tell she's been waiting for this. Okay, now, look at the court record. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now let's start examining from every angle. Alright. Oh, so you can rotate. Oh, look! I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out with the press of the enter button. Alright. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. ID number 5842189. See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess. Though I don't see what science has to do with it. So, we got the guy's thing. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears! No, my ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey! What did you just say? See? You can hear just fine. The phone's broken. An oil drum. Looks like it was filled with water. It's heavy! I can't even budge it! The drum over here is on its side. Wait, I know! I'll hide in here and do a stakeout! I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. What? I'm not suspicious! This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose. Aha! The theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Ah, hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name? Oh, Emma. Oh, hey. What's all this then? Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here's our claim. You best be moseying along, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Gah! Scary! Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, little Philly's got a good nose on her. You wanna know who rides that red Mustang with the body in her saddle, eh? Please? No problem, partner. About time for victuals anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor on the prospector's office. Might first find yourself a cabeza you like. Prospector's office? Where does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter? Note to self. Look up Fiddle's Saloon Cabeza. Maybe we should check out that room. 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, just keep your paws off our claim. Right. Great. Maybe there are some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me? Were you two all set? Us? There she is. What's this? She couldn't be. You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Hello? Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes? Some crunchy goodness coming at you? Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. It's your fucking wife, Ash. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passerby. Or are you opposite? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even in my days as the Kappa Queen are over. Kappa? Huh? You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you're a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective. What? A witness clearly saw me committing a crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please, Kappa Queen, tell us what happened. The name is Angel Starr. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yipes, she means it. Well... I like this feature now that you could do this. So this is what the back of the badge looks like. And I always thought it had a safety pin. Each badge has a number carved into it. That way you can tell which attorney it belongs to. You mean you couldn't lend your badge to anyone? No, I'd be found out right away. Well, that's no fun. She's your queen, Ash. A defense attorney must be able to fight. So how about you? Do you think you can win? How about tickling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme Lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy. A box of pickles? Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. Somehow, I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was gonna happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Destiny... Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know that. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors! They have no qualms at all about blackening the name of innocence. And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce! So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday. I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Wow, Angel really was like, I'm about to poison these fuckers. I don't give a shit. And for what? Well, I guess, like, she does have a reason, but damn. I think it's just a big callous for her to be so open about it, so. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Or is there some kind of scientific evidence for this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll still find out why they call me the cough-up queen. Ew! The most heinous of all evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So what exactly did you witness, Miss Starr? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Sky wield that knife so... Yay, you're caught up on Star Trek. Nice. Ugh. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his slippery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic bass of Lana Sky's knife. Wait a second, you know Lana Sky? Of course. It's quite a feat. Becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Starr? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No! Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Show's trilobite lunch set. Never mind. You win. I don't even want to appreciate. I don't even want to appreciate part of a trilobite's flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See that security room over there? The glass wall booth? I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. Well, I mean, girls gotta hustle, Phoenix. Unlike you who you see, now I'm starting to think, I kind of have a theory now that in order for Feeny to kind of keep up with his rent and everything, maybe he does moonlight as a piano player even now. It's just not mentioned because I don't think they thought about the concept at the time. So, much to talk about. I swear, I love this series so much just because there's always something new to think about, to discover. So, to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Starr, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis. Not. Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Starr? I sense some hostility. Hostility? Maybe Edgeworth is your sugar daddy. Maybe. Ha! Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in the chowder. I wonder if Miss Starr was involved with some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now that you're talking, Cough Up Queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. Huh. Hi, Melvin. Yes, it's Emma. Okay, so I guess we're done here. Very much to think about, Ash. Oh. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look! There's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix, right. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Who else? Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth! You know him from somewhere? Of course! I'm his biggest fan! My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister's the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No! No! It was just Mr. Right here, Hey, don't blame me! We're just here to investigate a murder case! Murder? A body was found in this nasty, bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What of it? I love this face that he makes right here. He's so sassy. Oh my god, Edgeworth. He's so, like, he thinks he's not very expressive, but he really is. He is very sheepish, Melvin. We love it. We stan it. What? Your car? I'll say one thing. She certainly can scream. And I won't do that for your sake and my sake. Well, let's examine. Actually, I want to look at something. Look at this. What is this? My. What an amazing bouquet. just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. Not gonna lie, I'd have to throw the whole car away if someone dumped a body in there. No, right? Like, why would you? I mean, like, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna keep it. And I'm pretty sure that he'll make enough money to. He makes enough money, or he has saved up enough money, where he can just get a new car, or at least lease something, or get a rental for a while. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiance? No. Emma. No. I don't think so. Ooh, cute! What a pretty tea set! I'd go for more than instant tea bags myself. Same. Fucking Edgeworth is bougie. Amazing! The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend! What an exquisitely splendid concoction! There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. Let Edgeworth live, Phoenix. He has the money for it. Hey, a chessboard! I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like Blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The Red Knights have surrounded the Boom spawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. Alright, he's right there. He's probably like, God damn it, shut up, Phoenix. Actually, I just kind of imagine, though, that while they're going through this, Edgeworth is going through his phone, checking out the latest Pink Princess news, or checking out to see any new merchandise for Steel Samurai. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges. Surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. God, this is fucking hilarious. I love these two. They're so cute. Whoa, these are all case files? They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. He must have someone get them for him. Gumshoe, yeah. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? He must study these cases before so closely. He's so cool. You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. You see, he did that. Mr. Edgeworth has such a comfy sofa. Sofas like this make me want to curl up and take a nap. I bet he pores over his case files until the wee hours of the morning. Then he takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to sleep using his arms as a pillow. I don't believe it. She's actually daydreaming about Edgeworth working. Well, like, as if you don't do that, Phoenix. I bet in the morning he has sofa hair and little creases in his cheeks from the seams. He's so cool. Sofa hair is cool? Well, when it's Edgeworth, everything is cool. Wow! This jacket is even lacier than his usual one. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in the frame. Maybe I'll be naughty. And take a picture. Why did it freeze on that? It was perfect. It was so perfect and then it froze. Like right after she said it, her eyes were just like giving that look. And then I'll take a picture. Fucking Emma, she's so adorable. I love her. She's getting way too excited about this. Alright. I'll move on. I'll look at see if there's anything else we can look at. No, doesn't seem like it. Okay, we'll look at this. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it. Drop the Edgeworth Bandcamp Queen. Oh god, I hope she does. She will, and it will be to, oh. What would Emma... Go ahead. Actually, what would Emma listen to? She'd be a fan of K-pop, wouldn't she? For prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So? So that K, that's... K stands for King? Go at it, King! She's a Luna stan. Okay. Yes, you're right. She would be a Luna stan. Oh my god, I love Emma so much. Yeah? You got a problem with that? She's gonna say, there's no problem here, King. I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors. Kind of like Employee of the Month, only better. Okay, she didn't exactly say it, but she might as well say, okay, King. Oh, man. Okay, I think that's all the people we could... All the things we can look at. So, the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean... Wait, so you're the chief prosecutor's little sister then? Yes, sir. Emma Sky. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Now I remember. You really grown. Is Mr. Wright bothering you, King? I love Emma! She would say that! Oh my god, I hate this. Oh no! Oh no, and then I kind of ship her and Clavier together. So, he would probably be like, aren't I your king, yeah? And she's like, no, get away from me, you fucking peasant. Okay, I'll stop. I'll admit, it was a surprise for me too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait! What did you say? Lana Sky is the chief of prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You? Mr. Edgeworth? Uh-oh. To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time where there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. But what? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. That is very true, unfortunately. It's a fact of life. Impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky? Yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago? I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then, why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. God damn, Lana! Like, why is everyone trying to involve Edgeworth in their problems? What? What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife that I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. That's right, you should always kind of keep those kind of tools in the back of your car if you have one. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Ugh, come on, can he take a joke? Inappropriate, Phoenix. You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Well, let's see. Don't you have more to say about the trophy? Oh, I didn't mean to check it. What's this? Hey, check it out! There's a metal plate here! It looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. Wow! One guy's listed a bunch of times! Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner? Yeah. That's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor! I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime. But she says that his name does have a kind of a ring to it. I meant... So, basically this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You could take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why's that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his war, for better or for worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday? Maybe we should, Emma. Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of all cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. Edgeworth really just said head empty. He said head empty. I hate this. This is the parking stuff from that underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So that does corroborate with the fact that he was there at that exact time. So So the murder happened right after you got back. What, right? I appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Oh god. Excuse me? But is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir. At the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. Ugh. I think I just heard Edgeworth's head blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir, I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins. Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. But sir, I didn't know. Poor guy. Looks like he was absent on the day they gave up brains and good luck. Don't be rude to Meekins. He's just doing his best. Right? Yes, sir? Yeah! He caught me off guard. As you can see, I am busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. Alright, well, he's kicking us out, so let's get out of here. I guess we could go to the police department's entrance. Whew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. Should have taken an Uber or a Lyft. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to the criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? It's the baby. It's the blue badger. Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh, wait, I know. This is the blue badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. I kind of wish they did to I wish we had more of a mascot culture like what Japan has, because Japan has a really cute one. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he seems familiar somehow. Blue Badger Nightmares, indeed. Hi, Starr. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, finally. Hopefully it's not too late for you. I know, the times are a bit off, but... Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal! What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well... Oh, you just had dinner? Okay, then this time should be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do, Ace Attorney during the weekends, and Fates during the weekday, so... Yay! I'll let you know. I'll tag you whenever I do it. I'll tag you whenever I go live, so... Yeah. Or with Ace Attorney. I won't tag you during Fates, so... What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. Okay, Gumshoe. I think it's cute. I'm like that Marge meme where she's like, I just think it's neat. I was wondering about that. What? The Dancy Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The Chief drew together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances till the batteries die. Poor Blue Badger. Fated to dance until he drops. Man, stop criticizing Gumshoe. Let the man live. He deserves the best. Well, Gumshoe, do you know anything about this? Oh, I keep doing that. I'm so used to like... Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors. Let's see. Oh, I keep forgetting. This one is the one where you can actually, like... Well... Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more on what's going on with Edgeworth. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll know more about... Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey, pal! This is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa! Now I remember! Bruce Goodman! He's the victim! That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, Gumshoe. We love him. We adore him. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned a detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was fake? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa! The chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, By the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? What do you mean this time? Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true, we never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. Patrolman in charge of the crime scene. It's unheard of, pal! So, this ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective, like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal. Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him up there to the parking lot. And Lana's confessing as much. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent! Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher up. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. And thank you for the follow, Starr. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying my little voice acting session so far. Good. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this all for us. Aww. Really? I'm surprised, because I know sometimes I post like videos on Twitter and such, but I don't always sound this bad. Allergies or my sinuses have been really bad like this season. So I'm doing what I can to help, but some of these voices kind of make it a little difficult. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is. What was his name? what was his name? The guy in the parking lot? I am Ash, don't worry. I actually, I got my iron pills today and I took one. And already I feel like a lot more energetic. And not to mention I actually got a lot of rest last night. I don't know why I've been so tired lately, so probably trauma due to the pandemic and all that. The guy in the parking lot. That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police. Officer Marshall. Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No. Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West LA. Yes he is from West LA. Yes he is. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal. Let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this, and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Well, we got a letter of injury. Actually, let me just make sure that I'm right about this. Just because East LA is where all the Mexicans are. Yep, that's what I thought. So, in case you guys aren't aware, West LA is essentially where all the rich people live. Like, you got Hollywood, you got, you know, Beverly Hills, Bel Air, you know, basically all the nice ass places. So basically, what Marshall is doing is fucking cosplay. He's fucking and the truth of the matter is, what gets to me too is that a lot of people who want to act tough who acts like, oh, you know, they're fucking cowboys, or they're the fucking gangsters, or they think they're gangsters. They usually, if they say they're from West LA, you know they're full of shit, because those streets aren't hard at all, not unless you're like, you know, obviously in the not unless you're poor, but I'm just talking about like those where most rich people live. But if you're from East LA, again, that's where all the Mexicans and the other immigrants are, then you're a little bit more believable in that sense. So that's why I laugh, because fucking Marshall here. Like, it's just fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's what I thought about West LA. So basically, Marshall's full of shit, and probably the most like desert he's ever been to is probably either Scottsdale, Arizona, which is where like a lot of rich people are in Arizona, or he's been to fucking Vegas to fucking party. So like, shut the fuck up, Marshall. Oh, I love it. I would be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Yes, you did, Starr. Just act like you're supposed to be there, and nobody will look at you twice, pal. God, Gumshoe is so lovable. I say ACAB all the time, but maybe we can have Gumshoe as a treat? Maybe? Probably best if we don't, because if you say yes to him, you may have to say yes to everybody else. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry. Looks like I'll be getting back to the shop. Sorry. Looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Hello? Why is the surprise looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security card? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that lost his herd. Jake Marshall, you fucking rich prick. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Well, I don't think I can do it the right way, so I think I'll just give him the letter first. keep doing that. One of these days I'll get used to it. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cow dog? He holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? Because it's Gumshoe. He needs to be defended. No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't the crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like December. Strike out for lands unknown. Yeah, this is all cosplay. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hoot nanny. God damn it! I hate it. Note to self. Police investigations are like sending land. So in other words, y'all are colonizers. I hate this. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. So we discarded that. Hopefully we threw it in the trash can. Alright, but first, let's see what he actually found. Officer Marshall, can you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he needs a witness, Miss Angel Starr. Go honor your wife. Yes, go honor your wife and get some lunch. One stab to chest, one stab to chest. A fine piece of work. This here is the autopsy report. So we got the autopsy, so it looks like death through... Wait, if he died at 5, why does it say 4? Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So, there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister caught the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot? So it seems. Like calling an R&R man on the shootout at high noon. I had to! I could never be Matthew Mercer, but damn, I had to. I saw it and I did it. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. Calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Living in Texas, I can confirm. They will shoot you out. Well, it depends what you call. Yeah, yeah, they'll shoot you. They'll shoot you. They will shoot you. Huh? I was one of them fans to shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We were just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Don't be rude to Gumshoe. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of this cow run by order of the chief of police. I guess that makes sense because you don't want a conflict of interest, but still, it's kind of odd not to assign another detective to it. Just, he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I think I read that already. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Yeah, I mean, I guess we could check it out, yeah. Right, let's check it out. I'm not doing it, it's the game. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't even know. But even I know about things like redial. Oh my god, don't tell me fucking Phoenix is a Zoom. He's one of those, I guess, not really, I won't say he's out of touch. No, he's younger than me, technically, so. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. I guess, I mean, to be fair, yeah, Eva is kind of right here. Alright, where are we looking at? Let's see. Nothing really in particular in here. He doesn't even have a strap. You can't use a cell phone if it's not cute. I saw it. Oh, there. There it goes. Now, to see who the owner of this phone call last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, she just pushes the button. Hey, that song! I know that! Hey, what's going on over there? Oh, so sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that phone that phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over here. Whose is it? Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Scott. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh. I'm sorry. That was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh, I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. So that's Lana's phone. Okay. Well... So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. Meats obtained. Nice. Ugh. And the prospect tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall! Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? Ugh. I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here. But who? What's the drama? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimony, you mean. He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're all off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't wrestle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What are you saying? Edgeworth is making deals to win trials? Now, typically in an American court of law, sometimes you do actually have to make deals with witnesses in order to get their testimony. Either they get immunity, they get a lesser charge, or they get, protection, some sort of deal. So that's not completely out of the room. Yeah, exactly, Ash, like plea deals. Now, I'm actually kind of wondering what kind of deals they're referring to here, unless they're just saying that he's paying them. Like, oh, if I say, oh, I'll give you this much money if you give testimony. It doesn't matter if it's fake or not. But we already know that it was Von Karma who pretty much did all that. So I'm pretty sure someone like him would get more shit than Edgeworth. But then again, Edgeworth was raised under his wing, so people are probably like, well, he probably got those ideas from Von Karma, and we already took down Von Karma, so much to think about. So, like I said, there might be something else going on that I don't know that could potentially be problematic. What? You're saying Edgeworth is making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old timers say. There's a big old secret hanging around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Do they know? Do they though? Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? That's the most likely scenario. Again, conflict of interest. Because if Gumshoe straight up knows that Edgeworth was in cahoots, then he, theoretically, he would hide the evidence to prevent it and thus, blah blah blah. But that's actually a normal thing to do. Disrobe. Is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Well, let's look at this tacky-ass car. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get big bucks. Because of taxes. Don't forget, prosecutors get paid by taxes. Defense lawyers are obviously they're private entities, so you know, obviously they have their own rates and all that. Yeah, so but they get the big bucks because, you know, taxes. What's this? It looks like a note of some sort. Looks like something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 6-7S December 2nd. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so? What does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for detective reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? Oh. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show. For kids? Don't call her out. The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I know, right? They would be such good friends. I really hope in the future games they meet and get along. I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Okay, so she called Emma. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. Okay. Yes. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. though I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright. Let's do this. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office loft. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls his first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? And there she is. There's Ash's wife. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please? Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. Pickled tapioca? What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, then. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I'm a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah-ha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. It's Ash's wife, in other words. But very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I may have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose this does to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay, we're gonna need those. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dried, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching! As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Of course Emma would know Monty Python. Okay. Okay, so explain. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence of their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against their prosecutors? I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. She does make some points. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. Yeah, right? This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. This queen is polyamorous. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Oh my god, did the judge actually thought about it? Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Even Emma picked that up. The security guard room is in the lot in A lot. Right? It's up on the second level so you can see everything. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. It says something, perhaps. Okay. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh yes, it was like freeing... It was like the feeling you get when you feel a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. Agreed, Horn. A new type. Then I must be a hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with an odor of an old cheese to match. Oh. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By Gersh's car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. But Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth, wasn't it? Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you sure was the defendant. I saw her from no further than 30 feet. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be regulated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap! I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I showed it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Ugh. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh, this is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organ. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg with an egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. No, it's flawed. She's biased as fuck. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case association. Well, hold on a second. Let's check this out. It doesn't seem that she's holding a knife here, so what the fuck are you talking about, Angel? And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, he has. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure this is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on Chief Prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white big photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem. No problem. Except you. Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Well, we should always, like, object, you know? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder. A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. But if it was planned, then why did she use crap, did it again. Then why did she use Edgeworth's knife instead of her own that she theoretically would have brought? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there?
defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right?
Mommy, are prosecutors bad people?
The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony.
What's that, Ricky?
In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Yeah, you can actually bring kids to court. They'll be bored as fuck, but you can actually bring them to court. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare for the most important thing, the murder weapon?
Oh.
This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order! 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 Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it's premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered the detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you?
My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the detective all the way to the prosecutor's office.
I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a grudge against the victim.
Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound like a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
What?
In any case, the defense may not cross-examine the witness. Okay. Man, the way that she's jumping through hoops. I believe he was only stabbed once, wasn't he? Yep, one knife wound, so... You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk! He's my hero, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness?
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast.
spattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw. Tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. How bad is your eyesight if a muffler or like a scarf even looks that bad? Like, and plus, let's look at that crime photo again. She's not wearing a red muffler. So what the fuck is she on? Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my injection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. But something red. Really? Well now, we're worried. The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be just a moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr! Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Okay.
You say it quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for details? Of course we should press her. I'd like to see this one on the floor plans just to be safe. The lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cop-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Why would you like casually go, oh man, you caught me. Now you got the muffler, you know, like what? Like why would she offer that up? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard was say the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Well, we gotta ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? By memory. It's like a salmon, heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see the star. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall, but it doesn't work. Apparently, it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. But what about that chain link? That doesn't explain shit on how you got over there. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Lana and Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed a crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. But it would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard up to this point now points in one direction. The place where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. Because remember, she said that she has a boyfriend in the security. So where else would she have been? This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed. The security room is in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you could see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the petition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has gotten the better of Angel Starr. I mean, it's really not hard to think about when you really think about it, you know? Order, order, witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She couldn't have just said she saw the crime. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed a crime from the security guard station. But she lied and says she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference. But what would change? Not necessarily the angle, not the difference in lighting, but you know what it could be? The distance to the crime. Because remember, she said she arrested her. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take it to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, yes. You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my own lunches has gone down from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam food to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Oh, so then that's when she came in. And then entered B block. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking lot in B block. That's quite a detour. And that's how she was able to take a picture. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. But 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point. The spark is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely! Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something! Do I have any evidence to stop this? Yes, we do! Raise an objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've gotten lunchboxes that tie pasta to knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. Oh, Udgy. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It is inconceivable. Yeah. Well then, it seems that we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright! That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense's team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! God damn it, Archie. Out of defense to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What she's gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try lunchtime for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of all this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests before? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is
that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You can at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Oh boy, Angel. Oh, Angel. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted the people to look at the results. Your queen, Ash, she's very... Angel is very Angel, I'll just say that. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief's prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. She's so great. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. Okay, these are more legit claims than maybe the whole deal thing. I thought that was just weird. Or I guess maybe the phrasing is weird. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. But if she's confessing, well, theoretically, if she was confessing, then why would you, like, I guess almost inadvertently cover it up? You know? Like, that doesn't make sense. You know, like, I don't know. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed the valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were two types of blood found on the shoe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up! Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. Do you guys know your blood types? I think I'm an AB positive, but I'm not too sure. Actually, wait. I think I'm AB positive, but I'm not so positive about it. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Why are you booing me? I'm right. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Why are you booing me? I'm right. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of all with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA results. But they said there's very little doubt that it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Sky's. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Is it flawless though? Is it though? I can't let this evidence go without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ugh. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem? Yes, there is a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. So, we see that there's blood on top, so why is there blood on the bottom? I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. God, I wish that would be. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of his shoe? Well, the crime photo, right? That's not the crime photo. Let me check. Yeah, there's no blood on the ground. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints in the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and we found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness? What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true with the lack of the footprint. It's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask, why there wasn't a footprint? Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think! Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Is he gonna slap us with the... I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Meow. I thought it was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now with this, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though, apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness! Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? But wait, wouldn't that mean that the floor was wet? Let me check something. That there would have been... Well, this was before. Do you want to know the reason why she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason only. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Wag! That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself as she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Starr is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Here we go again. Little girl. What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Starr, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare out the cough-up queen. Look at this. Another picture? A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoes didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo! Hey, it's clearly wet! So it is. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems that this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Oh, get yourself off the asphalt. Take another look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Your Honor, wait! What is it with you people? Can I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right? Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should get every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in the photo in this photograph. I'll tell you what the problem is. It's that right there. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Well, because remember, Lana did talk about a muffler. I want it. I always do that. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Erg! Yerg! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Ooh, well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. That was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Well, rubbing brain cells does take a lot out of you, so. How many slots do I have? Okay. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up in the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Her only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hold up, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall! Though I come and take a look-see at how the trial's going, looks like I'm late. They've got the whole ranch locked down tighter than fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the plays I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you get enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worried about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? Uh-huh. I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, the star was mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horn. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me? Knock knock. Who's there? Oh! What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Yes. Ah! This motherfucker! Yeah, that's valid, Ash. Hey! The temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. By the way, his design? That's Zeus. Who on earth is he? Check out that, they based him off of Zeus. Look at that, lightning bolt. Ah, it's you. Oh, yeah, that's Gant for you. Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, Udgy, my boy. You have to take big time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy, seems to be his nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha! So you're Rhino, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He is the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Yeah, he's gonna do this a lot. Name's Gant. Damn it, Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. You can hear the AOL dialogue going off in his brain. Yeah, pretty much. That's Gant. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out. By bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler! So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think it was stuffed in that exhaust pipe. On Worthy's car, little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds. Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I see Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder here is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it for me, Mindhunter? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. I mean, the game's doing it, not me. Alright, so let me zoom.
Ah! Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood?
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry. Could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Gant. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. Time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! Anyways, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientific speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Damon Gant. Yeah, but so then, can you explain this note? Damn it. Wait a second. At last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important why. Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7 as December 2nd? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get? A bada bing, a bada boom. Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knight's tag. Order! Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Raito. I win? What game is this guy playing? He's playing Pong in his brain. This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Was it now? So, what's up with this? Yeah, his mental Tetris blocks are chugging along so hard. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Raito. I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only, so... Where was he found? Or where were they found, I should say. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There is the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked. But now it is. Now we have a connection. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Heh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is the place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife evidence badge. And we also know that detective murdered at the police department was killed at the very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim of the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might try to get what I can out of him. Maybe the ID number. Okay, so how about you give me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tighter lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Wait a minute. wait. It's Goodman. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim. This tells me something. Yes, it tells me everything. It's Goodman. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning, it has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID and number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you? This. Remember, his number. Witness! What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. How would he know that? Aji, did you see your granddaughter off to prom? Meaning he saw her go, not go with her. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murder at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney. Remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Raito. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho 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 ho! Sharp as a tack, Raito. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location? Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a minute, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight. The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have you heard that name before? Wait, aha, wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edward, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error of gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then no such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, huh? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does that mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. Well, the connection was just proven by Raito over here. Good job, Raito, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get the results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment this is, for your sake, I hope is not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Well, for now, we're gonna go ahead and stop here. My throat is fucking killing me. And we've been going at it for a long time, so... Yes, tea time, rest time, and all that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Thank you guys for joining me at the stream. And thank you, Starr, for following me. I love you and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who watches my streams, especially from beginning to end. You guys are wonderful. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. So, next week, we're gonna keep going on this case. So, yeah, join us next time. Oh, excuse me. Join us next time when we figure out what the fuck is going on at the chief of police. What's going on? Why is there 2 murders with Goodman? Does he have a twin? Does he have a doppelganger? Who knows? We'll find out next time. Bye. Yes, Libby, get some rest. Go blinky time. Bye.